Howdy. So, this is going to be a quick look at Constantinople, a history of the Byzantine Empire 1330 to 1453, which you are going to be helping to playtest and to do a little research on. So, this is going to be just a quick introduction on how it works. You've got the rules, the instructions. I'm available to answer questions, of course. And here's our splash screen. We're going to set up a new game. So, we're going to set up a game. And we're not going to do car events in historical order. We're going to do a basic game because that's sort of more exciting, if you will. You don't know what's going to happen. We're going to show pictures and play sounds. So we're going to click that. And after a moment, you should see a big map of the Eastern Mediterranean, along with essentially the events section over here and the administrative charts over on your right. Now, if we take a look at the center here, this is our main map, and this is where a lot of the action is going to take place. Right here at the top center is, of course, Constantinople or Byzantium, now Istanbul, the ancient city, capital city of the Byzantine Empire or the Eastern um, Roman Empire. So you're here and you more or less, as leader of the Byzantine Empire, control this area. But you'll notice there are these 5 different tracks on which enemy forces, opponent armies are going to be gradually making their way down. Um, You've got barbarians like the Huns and the Goths and the Vandals. You have other nations such as the Armenians and the Persians. There are going to be other nations that are going to be popping up here as well. They're all trying to get in here and capture Constantinople, and you're trying to prevent that from happening. And so a lot of action is going to happen there. Over on the right, these are the walls of Constantinople. They're currently at a 2 out of 6. Your reserve armies that are available to you. These are the monuments that you've built so far in the game. You get points, and these help you win the game, such as building the Hagia Sophia. And then down here are various elements of your empire that help you govern, whether it's the dynasty that is a central control and the establishment of who's the emperor and so forth, and the bureaucracy that goes along with it, the economy, and therefore how much money you have to spend. And down here is religion, or the power of the Byzantine Orthodox Church, if you will. Turning our attention over to the left-hand side, there's going to be a deck of cards. They won't look like cards, but there's going to be a series of events that are going to go along. You go through 30 of these cards in order to get to the end. There'll be an image for some of the cards here. Most of the cards do not have images yet because you have not yet provided them. As is part of your assignment is going to be to track down and research some of the pictures that we could use in developing this educational game further. This is the approximate date of whatever events that you're looking at. We're starting out in 300 Common Era. And then in here are going to appear various data that you're going to need, reports that are going to be provided to you. So we start the game by hitting begin game. And first off, all right, so you saw there that religion has been decreased by 1, right? Thanks to the heretics of the Aryans. The Persians have advanced into Syria from Persia here, and the Goths have gotten a little closer. They've moved down from Rome to Sicily, from Rome to Sicily. Now we have 3 actions available to us. This is going to be the phase that is where most of the actions that you do will take place. You have a number of things that you can do. You can try and campaign against these various enemy forces to push them back and maintain control around around Constantinople. You can also try and rebuild the walls. You could expand your reserve armies. You could build monuments. You can further develop the dynasty, your economy, and of course, religion. And you do that by clicking on each one of these, and each click takes an action. So for example, I would like to build, see if I can build a monument. It's going to roll a die, and I have to roll more than 2 to make this possible. Ah, you hear that little chime. That means I was successful. Monuments have moved up to the 1 level. Because I rolled a 6, it was success. Monuments are increased by 1. But I used one of my actions there, right? Now, let's say I want to campaign against one of our opponents. You'll note that each of the opponent armies has the name, has some sort of image or icon associated, a silhouette of one of their warriors, and the relative strength of that opponent. 3s are moderately strong, the 2s are quite weak, and the Persians are pretty darn strong. You have to roll higher than that in order to push back the army. So, for example, I'm going to attack the Goths. First, I click it, and here I get 3 choices. Obviously, the no button, if I click that, it cancels the attack and closes out that particular little pop-up command. But I'm going to click it again. And if I roll this, I'm going to be rolling the die, and I have to roll a 4 or better to push these guys back. Uh-oh, hear that noise? That means I only rolled a 3 and it failed. So I just used one of my actions and the campaign did not work. Now, if the campaign didn't work, I could attack again using another action, or I could attack again, and this will give me a free attack. That is, it's not going to use an action, but it will decrease religion. And you need religion. So maybe you don't want to slide that all the way down. So instead of that, I'm going to attack again. Ah, curses. All right, I'm going to close this out. So I'm down to 0 actions. And now if I try and do anything, it's not going to let me do anything because I can't. I have no more actions. So we move on to our next turn. So all the slowest armies advanced, right? The Goths and the Persians remained in place, while the Vandals, the Armenians, and the Huns moved closer. All right. So, we've got 4 actions. That's good. I'm going to go after the Goths again because this turn I have a +1 die roll modifier. That means I get a +1 on the die. So I'm going to hit that. All right, I rolled a 3, +1 is a 4, and 4 is greater than their defense of 3, so they fell back to Rome. Good. So we're making the Constantinople and the Byzantine Empire just a little bit safer. We still have 3 actions left. I'm thinking raising up religion might be useful. So we're going to click on that. Good. Now these are all at 4. I'm comfortable with that. Maybe, right, we earn points for victory by raising up our monuments, and the monuments are cheaper at the beginning of the game and harder to get later on in the game. So I'm going to make another commitment here. I'm going to roll a die. Good. Now I have 1 more action left. Let's attack the Persians. But instead of just doing a regular attack, let's click this. We're going to spend one of our reserve armies. We're going to send reinforcements to the east, and we're going to try and drive back the Persians. So when I click this, it's going to spend an army, and it's going to roll the die, and I'm going to need a 4 or better to defeat them. That did not work. I rolled a 3. Darn, I'm down to 0 actions. We just lost an army. Now I could attack again using religion, but I'm not going to. Let's not do that. Let's move on to the next turn. All right. You will be able to spend religion to pacify one enemy who's on a 4 square. All right. So that means after I commit my various actions, we're going to be able to utilize the power of the church, of the Byzantine church, to convert one of the enemy forces if we want to pay this down and basically convert them into good friends, and we're going to pacify them. They will be removed from the game. Now, I'm going to use some strategy here. The Goths are already driven back, so I think I'm probably going to try and convert them. Keep in mind at this time that they are already Christian. Now I'm just going to make them Byzantine church, uh, Orthodox Church Christian, and that will remove them from the game. They'll be my best friends. So we'll spend our other actions pushing other people back. Persians are making me nervous, so I'm going to try this again. How about one more time? Arr. All right, well, that's too bad. Well, let's see if we could build up the walls. Those are going to be important to defend the city. There we go. Okay. Now I've used up my actions. I'm going to click next turn, and I get a little note that says choose an enemy that is in the fourth box. That is, the fourth box is back here. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And I'm going to pay the value of their army in religion, right? So I'm going to pay to convert the Goths. And now they are out of the game. They're off to the side here. However, we had a bunch of armies march closer. Yikes. Okay, so the noose is tightening. We have a +2 die roll against the Vandals over here, so that's cool. Why don't we go ahead and see if we can push them back to Egypt, right? You'll note the names here, these particular locations. Each one of them, these are generally the Greek names translated in, transcripted into English for those region. So we have 2 actions left. Let's see if we can push the Persians back. No, one more time. There we go, finally. And that's the end of that turn. Okay, so stuff's happening here. If we turn our attention over to the left, you'll note that there is a headline up here of what the event is, the Nika revolt. There is a picture here, and we have a description of one of the events, right? Chariot racing was huge in the Byzantine Empire and played an incredible role in politics. Perhaps not too far away from sports today, or maybe NASCAR. In this case, there were basically riots. And the people at the Hippodrome, right, which was actually the racetrack for the chariots, tried to overthrow Emperor Justinian, who sent in the army and slaughtered tens of thousands of people. So we have a problem there. There has been damage to the city, and we have to weaken one of these 3 developments that we have. I probably don't want to weaken this. I'm going to give up some of the money here. So that went down a little bit, and that's as a consequence of this revolt, of these riots in 1532. All right, so what do we have? The Armenians are sneaking a little closer. We've got the Huns over here. The Persians are here. I'm going to leave the Armenians alone because I want them to attack so that we can see a siege in action. I'm going to try and push the Huns back. Huzzah! Let's try and push up religion a little bit. Yay, maybe one more time. All right. So now we hit next turn. All right. The Armenians are besieging the city. The Armenians are in the number 1 position again, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're getting ready to attack Constantinople, and they're marching up to the walls, and they are threatening the city, and this is damaging infrastructure in the city. So we have to decide which of the developments is going to be damaged, and I'm going to basically damage dynasty here. Okay, so now that's not working. All right, we'll try it again. Oh dear. Rats. Okay, so that did not work at all, and this has come to an end.